So, it all happened very suddenly, but we've added another member to the farm family. This is Olaf, the Newfoundland dog. A while ago I had put in a puppy application with a Newfoundland breeder, expecting, you know, months or years down the road to find out if we could get a puppy. But this guy was living in the suburbs but needed more space because he was close to a hiking trail and he was barking at everybody walking by. So all of a sudden we have ourselves a big sweet boy. We've got a lot of training to do. He doesn't sit, stay, down, none of it. He apparently hasn't had any kind of obedience training, but he's definitely a big sweetie. He's looking at the cats and just smiling at them with dopey dog smile, but the cats are very afraid of him because he's probably the size of a Oliphant to them. But yeah, we're so excited to have him. We've wanted Newfoundlands for such a long time. They're a really cool breed. Like a lot of big fuzzy dogs, they're awesome with kids. They just love kids and are so gentle. And the Newfoundlands were also bred as water dogs, so they love water. Their instinct is to rescue people from water. So having a pond and the creek and kids, we really thought that a dog with water rescue instincts that's kid friendly is just like kind of a perfect fit. So all of a sudden, here's Olaf.
This morning we woke up not knowing about him, and then at the end of the day
it all happened very fast. And I hope
pros and cons.
Yeah, I hope we don't regret it. I mean, there's a chance that things go wrong, but we're gonna do our best to train him well. He seems like an awesome sweetheart of a big boy. He's 140 pounds, if you were wondering. He is large. He is large. Oh, you big boy. So, there's the newest member of our family. You want to say hi, Olaf? All right. We'll keep you updated with how he's doing. So this is super exciting. I haven't even shown Tina and the kids yet. I just found this in the chicken coop on the ground as we were putting them to bed. So, to put some context to why I'm all excited, Gandalf is a lavender Americana, which is a breed that can lay blue eggs. Olaf, come. Olaf, come.
Good boy.
Good, Olaf. Here, bud, here. Sit. You stay here with me. Okay. So, Gandalf's breed can lay a blue egg if they have that blue egg gene.
Good boy.
Good. And then apparently, if you can have a 50% cross of a blue egg layer with a brown egg layer, you can get an interesting green color like this.
What in the world?
So one of our babies,
Holy
which is only
moly.
5 months old, just today laid us our first green egg. So here are our white and brown eggs. Look how green that egg is.
Oh my goodness.
So exciting.
And that's
Hold on, look at our green eggs.
That's the first
our first baby
egg. So we hatched these chicks.
We hatched these chicks and one of them laid us a green egg.
That's so
Oh my goodness, James.
This is green. That's so close. Oh my goodness.
Isn't this amazing? I'm so excited. What a day. We got Olaf and we got a green egg.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, it's our first morning with Olaf. He's doing pretty good. The previous owners dropped him off with just a big crate and nothing else. We fed him some scrambled eggs this morning, and Tina's got to run and go get kind of the basics we need for him. Dog food being number one.
Dog food number one.
And treats, those little treats, because we're gonna start training him in earnest. He's a big boy, and there's a lot going on out here. He's a total sweetheart. He's not gonna hurt anybody, but we need to train him simple things like, you know,
be able to call him off.
Yeah, call him off things. Tell him to sit, lay down, and stay, because, you know, simple things like we're going to be in the kitchen cooking dinner, lunch, breakfast, or whatever. We don't need him all up in our business with his face up on the
his face
table.
Naturally is
yeah, he's so big and tall, he can just rest his face on the counter. So we need him to do simple things like lay down and stay and be calm. But of course, we've also got to be patient with him because his whole life just changed. He's nervous. Not like super anxious or anything, but he's just gonna have to settle in for a few weeks.
You've already done really good with him. By the time Jarvis wakes up like an hour or so before me,
or 2 or 3,
or just a few, but he was getting him to sit so much better than yesterday, and even starting on laying down and stuff like that. So
we're gonna
doggy treats.
We're gonna work hard at it. And then the other thing I worked on this morning that didn't go too great is introducing Tux to
the kitty.
Olaf. Tux the kitty to Olaf. Tux, he's a sweet cat, loves us, just wants snuggles all the time, but he's afraid of dogs, like I'm sure many cats are. So we'll be working on that.
And Olaf's really curious about him.
Yeah, but that's another reason.
Sign of aggression.
That's another reason Olaf needs to be well trained, because this morning Tux was getting curious and walking towards Olaf and I. We were sitting up kind of by that smoldering campfire there, and I didn't even realize that Tux was walking towards us, but all of a sudden Olaf like perked up and kind of walked towards him, or not even walked, kind of trotted towards him like he wanted to play. Of course Tux sees a wolf-sized dog coming towards him and gets scared and runs about 20 feet up that tree. So that wasn't great. So that's, again, that's a reason why I need to be able to tell Olaf to lay down and stay, and then that would make things like introducing a cat to a dog a lot better. But he is a total sweetie boy. Let's practice. Hey, Olaf, sit. Olaf, sit.
Can I put
Olaf, sit. Olaf, sit. Good boy. That's a good sit. That's a good sit from our good boy.
He's slobber.
All right, so we'll see how it goes. So we just had our first big problem with Olaf. He got all excited. Arya was in with the chickens holding Specky the chicken, and she said Olaf got all excited and then basically just ran at the fence, ran it over and got in, and he was just like running laps chasing chickens, not in like a super aggressive way, but in a big dopey playful way. But then one of the chickens like jumped against the fence and got stuck, and he got his mouth on it, probably trying to like hold it like a football or something. Got some feathers out of it, but I don't think any blood. Tina just caught it, so that's, you want to bring her over here? Poor bird. So he pulled feathers out of her, because I saw feathers when we came over, and
here's one.
Definitely disciplined him. He's in his crate now.
The chickens were pecking at an egg.
Oh really?
Oh, Arya, you had gotten an egg and had it in the egg basket. Were they just pecking at it?
So yeah, he needs a lot of training. He should not be thinking that our farm animals are playmates for him to run around and chase and put in his mouth. So we'll have to be working very hard on that. We need to be doing leash training and taking him over here near the animals and then correcting any behavior that's not just calm. So we'll have to get that sorted out. Because if he's gonna act like this, then he can't just be free to walk around the home site because the animals are right here for him to just walk over to. So we will be working on that. Okay, dinner was super good. Nice job, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Enchilada soup, nice like smoky, little bit spicy flavor. Really awesome use of the chicken. So good. So Mr. Olaf is sitting behind us. It's been maybe an hour since the chicken incident, and the chicken seems fine. And Olaf got a long time out and a stern talking to and all that, and we're just thinking about a game plan for what to do. And definitely gave him too much freedom to walk around if that's going to be how he acts, so we're going to have to control where he goes more training on a lead or even tethering. Bud, I'm talking to the camera. And then, you know, specifically train him around the chickens and the goats to stay calm and that they're not toys. Everything I could tell by his behavior was he was excited and wanting to play, and we've got to figure out what he likes to play that's okay for him to play, because Arya and James were throwing a ball for him and he really wasn't interested in a ball, wasn't interested in a stick. So we need to figure out, I'm wondering, like I grew up with big Rottweilers, and I remember how much they liked like tug of war, like grab a hold of a rope and fight big time. So he might like that.
Going down to the stream and just running.
Going to the stream, yeah, running. And I need to talk to the breeder that wasn't the owner of this dog, you know, since it was a tiny puppy, but will know a ton about Newfoundlands for advice about, you know, because he's an almost 4-year-old dog, so this is a little different than training a puppy. We're not on a blank slate, so we need to learn about, you know, what's appropriate for training a 4-year-old Newfoundland that has basically little to no obedience training, and kind of go from there.
I also think that he needs to get used to us. Like, he needs to completely obey us and know that we control him. Because what if someone drives up with another dog, we need to be able to call him off, and I think that's trusting us.
Yep, and there's really simple things, like, you know, he can be walking and I can say, Olaf, stop, Olaf, come, and it's like he doesn't hear me. So that's just super simple obedience stuff that we've got to get figured out with him. And we've got to figure out, you know, I think the main thing I'm thinking about is just controlling his location while he kind of earns our trust and earns the ability to have freedom to walk around the area. But he's lost that for now because of the chicken situation. So he's going to spend more time on a lead, in his crate, tethered, or like in our immediate vicinity. But again, if he's in our immediate vicinity and not leashed, what's stopping him from just walking away other than us constantly looking at him? So then that's a reason to have sit, down, stay really dialed in so that he can be off a leash. But, you know, if we're going to go work in the garden, I want to be able to park him outside of the garden and tell him to stay, and him to do that for 30 minutes. So those are the kind of things we need him to be able to do. But I don't want to rag on him too much, because a lot of things went so great. He just hung around with Arya and James at the creek and did awesome. Of course, as we expected, there's not an ounce of aggression or anything at people from him. And again, he wasn't aggressive at the chicken as far as I can tell. He was trying to play.
And he hasn't barked once today.
No, I heard the tiniest bark yesterday. We heard some gunshots up the ridge, which you do. We're out in a rural place, someone's target shooting or shot a deer or something, and he heard the first shot like caught his attention, and the second one he gave like a little woof. But I can't complain about him barking a little bit about a gunshot. So Yeah, we just have to, you know, it's going to take work, consistent work to train him, and he will be such an awesome part of the family, and it'll be good for him, good for us, good for everybody. The kids are having a great time with him, I think.
Kitties are not having a great time.
Yeah, the cats...
Understandably,
the cats will have to be introduced. And again, this is, yeah, now that I think about it, the way he reacted to the cats was very similar to the chickens or the goats. He gets excited and wants to play. The little cats, you know, eventually maybe they can find ways to play with a giant dog, but not yet. And they have to, so he has to be trained to not overreact and lunge and all that. So we'll be working on that.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that's what's going on. Olaf the dog, green egg.
Deer fence?
That's it. Deer fence. Oh, well, the deer fence I think is going to be a separate video. But
okay.
Coming up next is deer we're getting in our garden. And my friend Ryan was a huge help, and we're trying a much improved deer fence. It's been one night, and as far as I can tell, they didn't get in. I'll get a few more nights of game cam footage and see how it goes, and then we'll put out a state of the garden video.
Hopefully it recovers.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Bye.